Hey, gang, welcome to Tinkering with Tech. I'm your host, Heather. There's another guy around here somewhere named Michael.
I told you.
I was like, oh my gosh, you're serious.
I told you. I
That
told
caught
you I
me
wasn't
so
going to
off
be here.
guard.
I wasn't going to be
I know.
here.
Caught me so off guard. Oh, wow.
Then I
Today's
show up
episode
in
is
the
actually going to be really cool because we are going to be talking about tools.
The tools, that's true. Yes, we were so excited. We're like, oh my gosh, we get to talk about tools. All right, we get to tinker a little bit.
Tools. Yeah, we're going to talk about specific tools, the tools that we use when we collaborate, which is something you and I have been doing for a long time. And we actually use a lot of different tools when we collaborate with each other in the work that we do here with Tinkering with Tech, but also in our other jobs, you know. We do
what
that.
I like about what I like about this one, you know what I like about this show though, and I like the way you put it and the way you said that we're going to present it today. We've talked about each of these things individually, or had a show just on, or I have, or you know what I'm saying, or one of our tips or something like that. But this is what I like about this. We're going to bring them all together. Yeah, it's examples. We're going to bring them all together and show you. Actually, more tell you than show you. So it's really cool. Yeah. Those folks that are out there, please tell us where you're from, what country, city, state, etc. None of that changes. That's all normal.
That's all the same. Diane's out there. Hello, Diane. So glad you made it. So some of the examples, like Michael said, today we'll talk about those tools that we use, and we'll share some examples of how we use them to be collaborative. But we also want to know from you guys watching the show, and we'll say this a couple of times, but what are some examples of how you use tools to collaborate with people? Because right now, in the stage of life that we've been in for almost a year now, we've all had to learn how to be more collaborative without saying, like, you know, passing over the cubicle, hey, give me those documents or whatever. We don't get to do that anymore. So what are some ways that you get collaborative in the work that you do, or even in the play that you do? But here's another question. Maybe there's
I'm ready for it.
Maybe there's a collaborative issue that you've experienced, like you'd like to be able to do something, but you haven't found the right tool for that. We want to hear that as well. So Diane responded.
Oh, Dayton, awesome. Dayton, Ohio, Niagara Falls, Ontario. There is a difference. Hudson Valley, New York. Awesome. Love it. Hermitage, Tennessee. Low Country, South Carolina. Hilton Island Country Club. There you go. Computer Club. There you go. Awesome. Nice job. We are tinkeringwithtech.net. Go check us out, please. We would love that. Go see what we're all about. Go to that website and you'll learn a little bit about us and see if you want to come join us. Anyway, okay. So, and also give a thumbs up. Diane usually says that, but I put it up there this time. So I went ahead and put it. I'm going to ask you a question. I'm going to put you on the spot. I didn't talk to you about this. I'm going to put you on the spot though. Okay. If you had to say, okay, for family, for work, for our things that we do together, for your show that you do, all that kind of stuff, if you had just one collaborative piece of something that you were only allowed to use, what would that be? And there's a reason I'm asking that, but go ahead. Tell me what that would be.
Only one.
That's it. You're only allowed to use one. What would that be?
That's hard, isn't it? It is very hard. And I think that's a big reason why I wanted to do this show like this, is because
that's exactly why I wanted to bring it up. That's exactly what.
I mean, if I said Google Sheets, I would only get to do like half of the things I do. If I said Google Keep, again, I wouldn't be able to do the things that my sheets do. There's too many things. I need them all. So I'm sorry, but these are the tools.
That was my point.
With an S that I use.
That was my point. That was my point. You know, people try to get away with just using one thing or doing one thing. And what if somebody that you're collaborating with doesn't actually use Google Sheets or doesn't use a Google product?
Point.
You know, or something like that. Yeah. So, or they can't have it at their work or whatever.
Yeah, you might be able to work around it, but you still have to know how to do it and still be collaborative. So those are good points. So
you gave a good answer though, because I was trying to stump you, and then you led into exactly why I brought it up.
Yeah, well, that's because great minds do think alike. So, some examples that we wrote down, I want to go over some of those.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do
Um,
it. Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right. So we'll start with the first one that I wanted to share is something that I did on my live show. So for those of you who don't know, I'm an artist. I do live streaming demonstrations of my art on Twitch. When I'm doing that, I do this thing once a month where we have like coins that are collected and people can collaborate with me on preparing an art piece. But in order to do that, I have to somehow get their names and the things that they've purchased and all this stuff. Is very complicated. Anyway, to get it all on screen and be a part of the stream so that the live viewers can see it happening, I have to use something called Google Sheets. And a wonderful helper, Jules, would always put their names in for me. So it almost looked automatic. It almost looks seamless and automatic. And the truth is, it was manually being placed into that sheet and then popping up on my screen automatically. Cool. And it was a
automagically.
Really
automagically.
Yeah. Now you're Ronnie Binsering us.
I know, Ronnie Binsering word. That's right.
But yeah, it was a spreadsheet that you had helped create so that it looked pretty and we could put it up on screen using OBS. And when Jules and I were together managing the stream of Twitch using the management tools. So there's 3 different things right there that we were utilizing in order to collaborate with each other in order to make it look seamless. Oh,
sorry. Hey, Gil. Thank you, Gil. Thank you. I'm sorry. You did it. I didn't. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay because your sounds aren't on, so I didn't hear it. Otherwise, we would have. Anyway, that's okay.
All right. Okay.
That's okay.
All this text stuff.
I'm echoing now.
I knew that. Hold on. How about now? What about now? What about now?
I don't know. Am I echoing now? I think we're good. Hopefully the audience will let us know.
Okay, good.
Hey, we got a couple of fun people out there. Sending PDFs is one of the answers from Tiger Doug. That's 63 cents for Gil right there. And we got Mrs. Wiggs out there. No, it's Mr.
Mr. Mrs. Wiggs. I love it. Oh, Blake's gonna love you for that. Blake,
I know it. Anyway, all right. So let us know. For those of you just joining, we are asking you, which tools do you use to collaborate? I've just shared an example of how I collaborated with Jules on my live stream, and we made this sort of automatically looking spreadsheet appear on my live stream, and it was pretty cool. And you've got some examples too.
And every time you added a person, yeah, absolutely. Every time you added a person, it was really kind of cool because when she added the person to the list, they would magically come up on there, and then you could see how that went. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Look at there. Oh, look at that! Awesome.
Adding a 5 to the mark.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
Very nice, Jim. We like your math addition is nice. We like addition. Hey, Sheila's made it.
Hey, Miss Sheila, how are you, girl?
Oh, Blake said, ouch, that hurts. Poor guy.
Yeah, you might want to change that, dude. That's all I'm saying.
So, you have an example of where you did something very similar to that, only it wasn't like up on your live stream where everybody could see it, but it is something that goes live on the website for our Tinkering with Tech members.
Yeah, we do that in our private community. It's pretty awesome. I created like a kind of like a TV guide type thing that when people, I gave them a Google form, they would fill out the Google form, enter in when their show is, the time, date, etc. And then boom, it pops up in a list and anybody in our community can go and watch somebody else's show. It's kind of like an ongoing TV guide. Then when it's over with, it goes into another sheet. And this is all automatically. It goes into another sheet for 7 days. It holds it. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's really kind of cool what you can do and have it show up. It shows up on the website that way. It's really, really quite cool. People aren't using it that much, but it's a tool that I tried to design to help, get the word out. Let people come watch each other's show and things like that. So that was something that I created and did. And just to see if I could, for one thing.
You know what I'm interested in? What I'm interested in, because our membership is kind of a small little group. I mean, really, our numbers are not in the hundreds. So I think it would be a cool thing to add to our public website where folks could actually go and see what our members are doing, and then they would see that that's a benefit to be a part of that. Maybe. I don't know. That'd be something the audience could let me know if that's a good idea, but I just was thinking about that. But which tools did you use to get that collaborative piece together? Because we all can input on it and we can all read it, but how did you make that work?
So what I did basically is I created a Google form first. Oh, what?
Let me clarify my question, because I didn't want to hear how you made it work. I want to hear what tools you used to make it work.
Google Forms, Google Sheets, and then our Google site is where it ended up. So all of those three pieces made that all come together so you could see and everyone could see and collaborate. Really, if you think about it, it is kind of collaboration to or actually and really get the word out. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So yeah, those three things.
The reason why I stopped you about the how is because I think that's something that our community members should have the privilege of seeing that. So if somebody is interested in knowing how do you get a Google form and Google Sheet and Google Sites, or even my own website that isn't a Google site, to work together this way, I'd like to know more. I think they should join the Tinkering with Tech community.
Great point. Great point. Great idea. No, I like it. No, I love it. I think that's a great idea. Yeah. No, absolutely. Because that, go ahead. Nice idea, Heather. Looky there.
John thinks it's a nice idea. And if John says that, then that's all we needed to hear. Thank you very much. Jim is sharing about collaboration. Chris is sharing about collaboration. I collaborated on my book with my editor using MS Word, which is really cool.
Richard, thank you so much. You are awesome, dude. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I really do.
Back, awesome. Richard. That's awesome. That's so cool.
The group definitely loved you back. That's awesome.
So Richard says, I'm taking a look at Melon, which is a live streaming app similar to StreamYard, which that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Let's see. We keep forgetting to list our live streams on your form. Got to do that. Great idea. Hey, you know what you can do? You can set yourself a reminder.
Yeah.
Like using Google Assistant or even setting a text message in advance.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I do that. I have to do that. Can you display just one part of the sheets on the public page?
Oh, that's a smart idea. So you don't have access to the whole thing. You would just have access to like maybe the next day or something, or just part of it, so that they have to join to see the rest.
Oh, that's an interesting idea. Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I mean, I could probably work on something like that. We'll see. I love Google Forms. So easy and useful for collecting info from people. Absolutely, 100%. And this is a cool way of doing that too. And then having the results show up on a spreadsheet and stuff. So cool set.
Did you see Miss Mia Voss just popped in and she says, cool set. Thank you. We're talking about tools today, so it's appropriate even. We're talking about collaborative efforts and the tools we use. That's today's topic. And we're wondering, what tools do you use to be collaborative, or what issues are you finding that you'd like to be more collaborative and you haven't found the right tool for?
Exactly. You know, I think it was last year, we decided, you and I both, we said, hey, let's change the way the thumbnails, or make the thumbnails on my game shows more consistent. We went into that, and so we, of course, you helped with a lot of the art part of it. Thank goodness you were there.
Well, but, it started though in my favorite way to in my favorite way to collaborate, which was in a video call. We were in a Zoom meeting. So it started there. That was our first collaborative tool. Yeah. And we talked about our idea. I mean, that was the first thing. It was like, hey, I want something different than what I've been doing. And what's a good way to do this? And I gave you some ideas. You shot every one of them down until we got to one. We got to the one where I said, if you just hold up the monitor and take a picture of that, I think we could do something.
Because I said, I want something in a monitor.
Sure. He even takes credit for that. You see what I'm saying, you guys?
I said, I want something in that. You said, hold it up, didn't you? I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't even remember. We should have recorded.
It's mostly a joke. It's mostly a joke.
No, we should have recorded it because then we can find out who's telling the truth and who's lying. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, we both know that would be me because hashtag Heather's always right. So.
Oh yeah, that's
true. Yeah, you're right. You're right. So then you held up the monitor and took a picture, and then now I've got to work on that picture. How am I going to work on that picture when you're there, your computer's there, I'm here, my computer's here? How am I going to work?
And you usually work on your iPad too, which is also something that's, how are we going to make all this work together? So
correct.
So I ended up having to take a picture, send it through Google Photos, I think, to you, if I'm not mistaken. And then you took the photo, added it into your iPad to edit and get all that and get it all fine-tuned and everything, get all that. And then we had to figure out,
and I sent it back to you though, because then at that point you had to then put the next part in. So I had to send it back to you, which meant upload it to Google Drive, maybe.
We use Google Drive. Yeah,
we do. We've been sharing a folder for many years, so it's full.
So this is what it turned out and looked like. Exactly. Hold on a second.
Yeah. Yeah, and I even watched you use Pixlr to turn it into what you wanted to turn it into. So
exactly. Wow. So
here's a really cool thing, because we were in the Zoom. I could say, no. If you grab that part and then click this thing and then do this, and then you were like, oh, I could do this and then I could do that. No, that doesn't look very good. Oh, what if I tried this? I mean, we were just going back and forth. There's great collaboration.
It was.
It's a lot of fun to be able to share this together. And we used, what did we use? Like 6 different tools.
I think so. Yeah. By the time it was all done. Yeah. By the time it was all done, using Zoom, using Pixlr, we used the iPad, we used, there's so many different things, and then Drive, and then we share,
photos. Yep.
One thing that I love about, in saying all that, we actually, what was really cool about all of that was the fact that we could sit there and we didn't have to worry about, okay, upload this, email me this. Okay, now let me email you this copy back. Now we have to write over this copy and see.
Or what happens when you email somebody and you're waiting for them to get it, like right now? Refresh. I still haven't gotten your email. Are you kidding me? Check your spam. I mean, have you ever gone through this? Anyone?
Yeah.
Anyone? Yeah, it's not cool. So with these tools that we use on a regular basis, I mean, we can move through them pretty quickly. It's just like reaching over the cubby wall and saying, hey.
Yeah, that's what you said earlier. I thought that was funny. It's so true. It's so true. Exactly. Yeah, because especially nowadays, because we can't do that. We can't reach over the wall. So now we have to find ways to reach over the wall. And this is in collaborative tools like this and what we're talking about, and being able to pull these things together and get these things done and work together to get it. It's huge, just huge.
I got to put this up here because it says, Katie says, if Michael didn't move out of frame, I would think you were sitting next to each other, even though I know that's not likely. Well, yeah, it's kind of impossible, being that we're almost 2,000 miles apart. So yeah, we're really good at this stuff. This little, because we practice at it really long time, but yeah,
it's fun.
Anyway,
yep.
So there's a couple of questions out here. I'm going to just put them up as I go. Let's see. Katie says, I'm mesmerized by the set. I love it. She also says, I have an alarm set, but I am usually making dinner, so I listen on my phone. And that is so awesome that you're listening to us while you're making dinner. What's for dinner? We're hungry.
I know. we need something afterward, please. Yeah.
Heather's always right. Thank you, Jolyn. Appreciate that. Jim brings up a great point. Google Slides is very collaborative as well. Both Chris and Jim can be working on the same set of slides. I say Jim said. It's probably Chris typing. Sorry about that. I am fibbing. Yeah, okay. Thanks, Mike. I hear you. Yeah. A lot of Zoom stuff should be recorded that isn't, Andrew says, and he would be correct.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, sometimes you're going over stuff.
Let's see. Oh, Jolin's talking about us. Kathleen, you missed it the other day when they showed us how they put it together. Yes, we did. That's another one of those perks of being a community member. You get to see how the magic happens. More. Hashtag Team iPad. You go, Mike. You go. I'm an Android guide, and iPads are too expensive. It all depends on what you're doing with it, Richard, as to what is too expensive. Has anyone ever used the Zoom whiteboard to collaborate? That's a great question.
That is a great question. Yes, we use it at work quite often. A lot of times we'll bring in a picture on the whiteboard and then write all over the picture. Our guys are on mobile phones at work, and also we're there and we're trying to work out, here's where the crack is in the floor, and we're trying to decipher how to get this to flow down to the drain, all that kind of stuff. So yes, we do that at work all the time. I don't think you and I really have collaborated that way on the whiteboard.
You know, we tried playing game.
Oh, yeah, that's true. We did
the drawing game. We tried doing that on it a couple of times. That's not as easy as we'd like it to be, but you know, that was just for fun anyway.
Yeah.
But we can draw pictures like mustaches and stuff on each other's faces. So I find that to be very valuable during a business meeting.
There is that.
Whoops, I just missed it. I popped up. As soon as I go to click the comment, it popped on me. But yes to the email issue for sure. She said, yeah. This is Chris because Jim is making dinner. Smart woman there. But Mike says, the background makes me want to go shopping for more tools. I kind of wish I could say that this show was brought to you by Ryobi and go buy Ryobi tools. But, you know, if you're watching Ryobi, DMs are open.
That's right.
Let's see. What do we got here? And a lot of Zoom stuff should not be recorded.
There is that. That's true.
That's right. So he's talking about the wipe off board. I know people have had, but no personal use of it. Roz has just finished her breakfast. Yep. Glad you made it. Cheese stuffed sausage. This is for dinner, Michael. Cheese stuffed sausage. Say that 15. But since you're over at Michael's, you must be having something great for dinner. He's some cook. That's true.
Well,
that's very true. All right. So, my sister never sees the background. Yeah, she's the power tool person in that house.
Good stuff.
Anyway, all right. So we also use another tool that we haven't mentioned today, but we've talked about it a whole bunch on the show, and that is Google Keep. And we use that religiously. As a matter of fact, I've got it up right now with the show notes for today because that's what we use for our show notes. But we also use it for sharing with our guests, and like when we have an agenda and we want to make sure that they know what to expect from us and we know what to expect from them. And it's a great place to share links and all kinds of pictures. Even you can add all kinds of things to one notepad and keep a checklist there and mark things off and tell the other person, hey, I did that already or whatever. It's great productivity.
It was great. Well, it was great. And one thing that was nice, like when we were going over what we're going to talk about today, Heather says, oh, let's put this in a Keep and we can collaborate right away and it could see, and we could just kind of mix and match and add stuff or see what we thought, do that kind of thing. That's one thing I really love about that, those collaborative efforts you can make with Google Keep. It really makes a big, it makes it worldwide.
You mentioned something about using photos, I think, because I thought it was Keep that you used with the guys at work for receipts and stuff, but you told me it was photos. Is that accurate?
Yeah. Here, I'll show you. So here's Google Photos. Oops, there we go. Google Photos. If you look, you can see each guy sends in the receipts. This is who all the guys that, I beg your pardon. This is all the guys it's shared with right here. And then they just send in their receipts and I can grab the receipts and get that way. It's really very useful. Very practical, as opposed to them sitting there having to fill in all of these different, expense reports and all this kind of stuff. I can have every single receipt so I can match it up when the bill comes in, I can match up every single one, etc. So.
And how does that work? Do they put it into an album? I'm getting into the how, and we weren't going to do that, but I was wondering, do you guys share an album? Is that what you do?
Yeah. In Google Photos, or just share an album. and that's all we do. And then what I can do is, yeah, I could just, when I'm going through them, because they do them in order, in date order, every single one's individual and it's in date order. I can just go through. Oh, yep, there's that one. That one matches. Yeah,
Wow.
saves
cool.
a lot of time.
So this brings me actually to a point too that we didn't put on our list, but we kind of talked about, and that is collaborating with my family on shopping list. I mean, another reason why I love Keep is because I can just say, instead of, I really wish you guys would let me know when the cereal was empty, instead of leaving the empty box on the shelf as they usually do. And then when I go to have some, there isn't any. Anyone else? Then this way, when they use it up, they put it on the list. Or my favorite thing is, my husband's on his way home from work and I say, there's a couple things on the list I need, or if you want dinner tonight. And so he can stop, and I don't have to worry about he didn't get the right one. I can take a picture of the item so he gets the exact same thing. It's perfect. It's so cool to be able to use those features and collaborate that way. And it's live. Like if I were to start typing on this Keep that we're in right now, you would see it on your screen what I was putting in there. So it's just so cool.
My
go ahead.
The setting is actually called collaboration. There you go.
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah.
Love it.
I love it too. What I was going to show you was on like my mother's, we have a shopping list for my mom, and you can see my wife's on here, and then my sister, my brother, and myself. So all of us are on there. So anybody that's going to see her,
you all don't live in the same house. So if she says, "Hey, I need this," it's on the list. Any one of you can go pick it up and take it to her when you're going to go visit.
That's right. Great. And let's say somebody's going over to a store near her house. Okay, so they're at her house or whatever, and so they check it off. If I'm over doing the same thing, we just happen to pick the same day, I can see it coming off the list. I'm like, oh, somebody's already doing this. Or maybe they just wanted to get eggs and butter, and I'm getting the rest of the stuff till, tomorrow or something. At least, it's so great for collaboration, but also like for a checklist for us. If we're working on a project, we can check it off and bring it down below. And we can actually, what we can do is, if let's say we have this task that we have to do, then we decide, okay, I put MD, I did it, and I'm going to check it. And then you can look down below and you can see who actually did it too. If you add that to it, Heather did this, Michael did this, whatever, and you could do those kind of things. Really kind of cool, really kind of neat. Love it.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because as you were talking about that shopping list and stuff, I was thinking about Thanksgiving. When remember back in the day when we used to have gatherings together as families. Do you remember that?
Remember that back in the early.
Right. Many yarn ago. My daughter-in-law and I would do that for our Thanksgiving meal because there were things I wanted to cook. There were things she wanted to cook. Yep. If we both had potatoes, or if we both had, the sweet potato pie or whatever on there.
Amen. Yes.
We would know that we're both bringing the same thing to the meal. And then her mom became a part of that. And then somebody else becomes a part. And now everybody's knows what everybody else is bringing, and you don't have 15 potato salads at the picnic. You know what I'm saying?
Great point.
That's kind of a cool way to do it. I just hadn't thought about it until you were sharing about your mom's shopping list. That's cool. Yeah. Let's see. Robin Williams is out there in the audience. Glad you made it. I have planned a ton of parties using Keep with my sister and my niece. Also use it for packing with the hubby when we used to be able to travel. Exactly. I was thinking about that. I had forgotten about Keep since it's been a long time since I've used it, and probably because things change, and things have been changing for a while for all of us. There's a couple more comments pop on here.
Okay.
I did not know Keep was shareable like that. Oh, really, Jolin?
Oh, my goodness. Cool. Yes. It is the absolute best.
Use Google Sheets share feature. That's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's dark in Ontario. It's dark. Yay, Google Photos. Oh, I put that one up before. This is the one I was aiming for. Amazon, Alexa. I just set it off. I'm sure we can both we can both add things to the shopping list just by saying that word, add this to the shopping list.
That's what I love about this too. That's so awesome. And the other thing is too, you can say, hey, add this to the agenda. I think we need to talk about such and such and such and such. Or you can say, add this to the Walmart list or add this to the Lowe's list. You can have different name lists. We do that religiously. Oh my gosh, it's so awesome. It's so cool. I love that. Love it. I love it because I do checklists quite often. I love a checklist because we can bullet point, take it off and everything. We do that with our guys. So we'll have job, whatever the job name is. So add this to the job such and such list. And so that way they make sure that they get everything. Like, here's the tools you're going to need. And we all collaborate and do that kind of stuff to make sure so they don't drive 6 hours and say, hey, I don't have a whatever skill saw or something, one of these tools back here. It's over on my shelf behind me. So yeah, we have to do that kind of thing all the time. I love it. It works really, really well. And it's so collaborative, and I can do that with my assistant. That's what I love about that, is I don't have to go break out my phone, do whatever. I can just do it throughout the house. It's pretty nice. Yeah.
Pretty cool. Andrew has this to add. Mr. A, please tell Miss G to remind me.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we covered a lot about collaborative tools, and I think we've nobody had any like collaborative issues that they wanted to address or get over. But if you think about that, if you're watching the show in the rerun and you're like, hey, I've been wanting to do such and such and haven't figured out a tool for that, we'd love to hear from you, because that'd be a fun show to do. Like, we found an answer to this, or we were stumped by it, and maybe somebody out there has the answer. So that would be good.
One last thing I want to just bring up, because I know some people, like Mert and Russ use this, and I think you and Debbie used to do this with Trello. Trello is a good one because you can move tasks over to certain areas or move them back. Hey, that didn't quite get done. We need to redo it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of things. There's tools out there that we don't use.
Keep on steroids. That's what I think of Trello.
Really? Gotcha.
Yeah, I love Trello. I think it's amazing. You can actually turn it into a content creation board and use it kind of like a storyboard if you're ever into like movie making, television, script writing, any of that stuff. You can use it for that kind of thing easily. It is amazing.
That's really cool. I just wanted to mention that one because I know that's one that people have used in the past, and it's a very good with organization and collaboration as far as that goes.
Yeah, my note says another one that's good for this is Trello. So, so yeah, you're right. I agree.
Well, good. I'm glad
I use Asana with a web developer I was working with. Oh, yeah. There's a couple of them, like Teamwork and I don't remember the other one that I used, but that I've used with people where it's more like company based. It's a private little board for the company only. Yeah. A project management tool. Yep. Yeah. There's so many out there. Like Michael was saying, there's so many out there that there's a problem you're trying to solve. I'm sure there's an app for that.
I think it's key, though. I think one of the key things is that you do use something. I think it's important to use something. I really, because it'll help you. I think it'll help so much in whatever you're doing. Today, we talked about collaborative efforts and the tools we use. Love to, like Heather said, if you're rewatching this later or something like that, you come back and watch, tell us some of the tools that you use. We would love to have that and let you show that those things that you use and have.
That's what I was trying to remember. Basecamp.
Basecamp. There you go. Yeah. Good stuff. Excellent stuff. All right. We're going to end the show today. And we'll have a backstage pass for the community members where everybody can come in and chat with us. One of the benefits of Tinkering with Tech.net. If you've never been to there, come over there and check us out. See what we're all about. We have a couple new members that just signed up this month and last month. We'd love to have you guys come in. If you're out there watching, come on in with us. We appreciate all of you viewers. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I know Heather does too. I say that.
I wanted to add that if clicking on that link doesn't mean you're joining the community. It's just a great place for you to see what the community offers and what you're getting for $10 a month. So that's the whole point of going to that website, is to learn more. The website I'm talking about, tinkeringwithtech.net, is to learn more about Tinkering with Tech community as a paid for community. And it's truly $10 a month. It's so very, very, very inexpensive for what all gets put out there for you. So
great point. Yep. Excellent. I'm glad you said it that way, because I didn't say it that way. No, thank you guys. We enjoy. Thank you very much, Gil, for the super chat. Richard with the super chat. We had also, who am I missing? Jim sent a super chat. Chris sent a super chat. Somebody else sent one. One more person I'm missing. I don't mean to miss you, but I do appreciate that. It means a lot to me. Thank you so very much. Yeah, Gil, Jim, Richard. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. And we'll see you next time, next week. See you, Heather. Thanks a lot. Appreciate it. And we will see you in the Backstage Pass community members. Bye, all.